we haven't met before, hey, my name is Erica Dietrich, or Erica the Dev Online, and I am a content creator who talks about modern coding, coding with AI agents, using cybersecurity practices, etc. So give me a subscribe if that sounds interesting to you. Anywho, I work with a lot of people who have leaned into vibe coding, particularly because I teach developers who don't consider themselves traditional developers. So these are other engineering roles. Network engineers are my primary audience. I've also taught people who aren't technical at all, who have gotten really excited about the prospect of creating their own apps and bringing their own ideas to life. Now, before I give you the 3 reasons that you should reconsider becoming a vibe coder, I want you to know that I am not a hater on you gaining skills or getting excited about something or building your dream, making money. I am very pro all those things. But because I do have expertise as a developer, I want to look out for you. So everything I'm telling you is for your own good. It's look out for you, and I trust you to make the judgment call about how to proceed. So the first reason that maybe you should reconsider becoming a vibe coder or leaning full on into vibe coding is if you are in a technical role or want to be in a technical role. Because on a lot of job descriptions, again, I use network engineering a lot as an example because that's my primary audience. On a lot of job descriptions, they're going to ask if you know how to program. Do you know object-oriented programming? Do you know how to script? Do you know Python? Whatever it's asking for, right? If you lean into vibe coding, you will be able to create the things that people want you to create. Again, an app, automation, just a cool demo, right? That's all possible. And you'll be able to do that in the language that a job description dictates. However, you're not actually going to learn that skill or learn that language. And while some companies might not mind and they're cool with you just using AI for everything, a lot of them are still going to want you to have the actual skill, or at least some understanding of the skill, if they're going to hire you. So if you need this skill for a job, please actually try to learn some coding concepts, at least along the way while you're vibe coding, right? I'm not trying to rain on your vibe coding parade, but invest in yourself, right? Skills cannot be taken away from you. Subscriptions can. Again, even if there are companies or roles where they don't mind if you just AI vibe everything, whether it's coding or some other technical role or any role, keep in mind that you're going to be competing with people who do have that background. So who is someone going to hire as a developer? The person who can only vibe code and doesn't understand anything, whether or not the results are amazing, or somebody who has an understanding of systems and architecture and scalability and security and just how to write quality maintainable software, who has also adopted AI, right? I mean, at least for me, there's a clear winner. If you are not trying to get a role that requires any kind of coding, or you're not technical at all, whatever, then maybe this doesn't apply to you. So you can, throw out this reason. Reason number 2 to reconsider being a full-on vibe coder is if you are creating apps or some sort of product that you're vibe coding that you hope to make money off of. Maybe you consider it a full-on business. Maybe you are just considering it a side hustle, but you hope to monetize it. Keep in mind that there is more to being a software developer and to creating software than making sure it runs, okay? And I know that is hard to understand or perhaps even believe if you don't have that background, right? But yeah, you're just gonna have to trust me on this one. And the biggest reason you wanna trust me is not just it could have ran faster than it could have. It could have somehow been a little bit better, right? It's because, what's going to happen when there is a breach of your app and a bunch of your user data is leaked, right? That's not good. That's not good. What's going to happen when the API key that you use for OpenAI is exploited and all your tokens are used, or you have unauthorized cloud usage? That's no bueno. What happens when you have a bunch of users excited to sign up and all do something at the same time and your app crashes and so people stop using the app? Or worse, you lose out on sales that you were trying to make through the app. What happens if, somebody goes to purchase something using your product or somehow use their credit card and they're charged twice? So these are just a few examples of why you don't want to just be on a full-on vibe coder. You want to have some idea of what's going on, at least so you can fix things that AI comes up with, right? Because it's going to be a headache for you at best later, potentially lose you money, which is, I guess, a medium case worst scenario. And then worst case scenario is like a major cybersecurity incident, maybe even getting sued for lack of security in your product, okay? Again, this is going to be hey, you have to trust me on this one thing, but go out of your way to educate yourself however you can, right? I'm producing materials for vibe coders that are realistic, that are going to help them create better applications, more secure applications. And so if there's something you want to see or you have demand for that, let me know down in the comments so that I continue to do that. Now, the final reason that I think that you should reconsider vibe coding, it's really a matter of self-sufficiency. And so not everyone is going to agree with me on this. They're just going to think I'm being a doomsdayer or paranoid. But I think it's something to truly consider in an ever-changing tech industry that's highly competitive and where, a lot of these companies don't give a crap about you. They're just trying to up and up subscriptions. Is that, what happens if you can no longer rely on AI? Now, this could be the subscription becomes unaffordable. And so you can not only can you no longer create apps, but what if you can't fix your app once it's broken because you no longer have the subscription? Or what if, there is a DDoS attack and the AI service goes down for some lengthy period of time. And again, you are unable to use it for something critical. What happens if the, latest release of the model you're using that you rely on just sucks? Like, what if they make changes that you don't agree with? What if, it's just, you have no agency over that, right? Sorry, I'm petting my doggo here. So, knowing something about coding, about creating applications is not just about, oh, look at me, like I'm so smart, right? And it's not just doomsday prep. It's the fact that we cannot fully rely on AI, period. Even if none of those things that I just said happened, right? And you can use AI, AI is not always right. AI is not always right. It makes mistakes and you have to be able to guide it and to troubleshoot it and whatever, right? So we're just not at a point yet where we can completely turn off our brains and trust AI. I understand, again, that if you have not been able to program before this point, that this is extremely exciting to be able to create these things seemingly instantly and for it to seemingly be perfect looking. I in no way am going to rain on your parade, okay? But I want you to be safe. I want your business to succeed. I want you to remain competitive in the job market. Wherever it is that you come from when watching this video, I want the best for you, and I am willing to be the person who is booed in order to raise these alarm bells, okay? What do you think about these reasons to reconsider vibe coding? Do you agree or disagree? And would you add any reasons? Let us know down in the comments and let me know how I can help you on your vibe coding journey. Yeah, take care.